Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time, thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Well, this is Larry Sonnenburg sitting in for Steve today, and I'm blessed to be sitting here with Dr. Alice Benton.
Hi.
And across the road over there is Becky Brown.
Not far.
Hello.
Hey,
a little
Becky.
bit down the road.
Thank you for technology.
Yes.
Hey, in devotions this morning, we talked about our New Year greeting, and our common New Year greeting is Happy New Year. And there was a challenge made that maybe that's not the best greeting because we're not called to be happy. There's a lot of things we think we might be called to. One of them, I think we all live a life where we think we're called to comfort. And I don't think that's the case either. I think the real calling on our lives is to be holy. And so, how do we do that? Well, I don't want to get into that as much as I want to get into this comfort issue, because it's too easy to make an excuse that I'm not comfortable, so I'm not going to do something. And if we think about what God did, He brought Jesus to this world, and Jesus lived a very uncomfortable life to the point of death on the cross. So what is it, ladies, that causes people to stick to comfort, not to do what maybe we're called to do and get out of our comfort zone?
Well, I even think the comfort that we talk about is an illusion, because what is comfortable to us is probably just what we know, what's familiar. But long term, that's not comfortable if we just stick with how we are. If we don't move out of our supposed comfort zone, it's actually a disaster for a lot of misery down the road. And being willing to take risks to supposedly be uncomfortable is what leads to the true fulfillment and blessing and much deeper, greater happiness.
Becky?
Well, and sometimes even in our comfort zones, we are miserable.
Yes.
And so it's funny because, you hear stories about people just struggling, but they are happy just the way they are. But, one of the things about changing your comfort zone, we think of it as being this big, gigantic leap. And in reality, all we have to do is one little thing to disrupt the cycle. And, our faith, Larry, in devotions this morning, you said something that's still in my mind, where we put our faith in God's activity rather than in His identity, knowing that He is faithful, that He is able, that He will bring us to where we need to be. And it's the truth. And so in our comfort zone, if we're focused on God's identity, we're going to trust Him to take those small steps, those big steps, and find our new life.
Larry, you were saying before the show that we have to fake it till we make it. And I'll add to that the idea from the 12-step groups. You suit up and you show up. You don't wait to be comfortable. You step out to take the risk, because that's where the healing and the growth will come from.
Yeah. Part of what I was talking about, and too, were staff members on both sides of the country, the Texas and the California side. We do staff devotions, and there's like 4 or 5 people that do them every time. And there's about 30 people that never step up and do it because they're not comfortable doing it. And I encourage them, but I don't think anything's going to change. But we'll see. Terry's chuckling over here. He's shaking his head no.
Terry will be the first one to sign up.
I think so.
Gonna happen.
We're going to do that. But Becky, you gave a quote. You thank your sister for this one. It said, "Am I strong enough to let it go?" And I just love that, because it's the paradox of strength and letting go. They don't go together, but they do, because our strength is in Christ. It's not in us. And if we're strong enough, we'll depend upon that. But hey, we're taking calls. We're going to go to a call right after the break, and we'll hope a few more of you will give us a call, 800-229-3000, and you'll get a lot of wisdom from Becky and Alice. So give us a call, and we'll be right back and talk to Stephanie.
It had become very apparent that some of the things I was involved with were taking over my life.
In today's world, men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. Some say that certain behaviors are just no big deal. It's just part of being a guy. But it's simply not true. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. New Life's Every Man's Battle Workshop can help.
After 7 years, just one weekend, a completely changed man.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Workshop.
He said, I think this is something that every man should go to. Married, dating, it was definitely life-changing.
Now the workshop is coming to Washington, D.C., January 6th through the 8th. Don't wait for him to call. To find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com.
I just can't say enough of what New Life has done for our marriage.
1-800-NEWLIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to go straight to the phones. We're going to talk to Stephanie, Morristown, New Jersey, listens on the Philadelphia station, WFIL. How can we help you, Stephanie?
Yes, hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking my call. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have a 14-year-old granddaughter, and she's cutting herself. What can I do, or what can we do to help her?
Stephanie, would you tell us the story that might be leading to the way she's dealing with pain by cutting?
She's not living with me. She's living in Florida, and we know about this prior, but we thought that she was getting some form of help, but come to think about it, she wasn't. And I spoke to her like a couple of days ago before Christmas, and I just came up and asked her to tell me the truth. Is she still cutting herself? And she said, yes. I said to her, what causes her to do it? And she said when she feel overwhelmed. She said she can't cry, she can't scream, so that's the only release she have. I know this is serious, but I just don't know what to do. What do? I try to encourage her, but I don't. I know she needs help, because if she don't get help, I think something bad might happen. I don't know.
Stephanie, I praise you that you had the courage to ask so bluntly, because most of us are afraid to ask, because what do we do with the information? But apparently there's enough trust between you and your granddaughter that she was willing to admit it and even explain why. What's happening in her home life with her parents? What are some of the problems that might be going on right now?
I don't know what the problem is, but I think it's mostly school. She's saying that she has so much pressure in school. Mother and her mom and dad is not together. She remarried, and she has other siblings and so forth and so on. But that's basically what she told me. She said that, the pressure in school, and she feels overwhelmed. And so I'm telling her that when you feel overwhelmed, you can always pick up the phone and call me and, talk to me and so forth and so on. And she have other avenue, but I'm not sure why she's not using her sister. She has younger aunts, like around almost her age. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm heartbroken.
Stephanie,
I just don't know where to go.
You like what Alice just said, you are asking all the right questions. You're wading into the water with her. And one of the reasons why people cut is to express the pain that they can't express otherwise. And she said she's not able to cry. She's got all these feelings bottled up. So connecting her with people where she can express, and it may be you. It may be that you do a daily check-in and help her to name the feelings that she has. We talk about the soul word list that is in How We Love. A lot of times we just need to help them understand or even identify what they are feeling. It's just feelings they take up a lot of space. And when we go into cutting, it's to relieve the big feelings. But she is able to recognize that that's why she's doing it. But I would suggest connecting her with maybe some of those people that are local, like her aunts, or even if you can get her to talk to a school counselor, a personal counselor. I think those would be good next steps.
Right, yes.
Stephanie, which one of her parents is your child?
Oh, the father.
And is he active in her life?
Oh, very active.
And does she mainly live with her mom?
Yeah, she does.
So I want to expand your assumption. I'm certain that school is causing her a lot of pressure. It doesn't tend to be one sole reason why a person goes to the extent of cutting. And the fact that her parents are divorced, she has step siblings, it causes so much upheaval, as you know, in a child's head and heart. And if she can't bring her emotions to her parents, those should be the main safe people, of course, to whom a child can reveal their heart. Have you brought this to your son's attention or your ex-daughter-in-law's attention? How did those conversations go?
Yeah, I spoke to my son, and I told him, I said, we have to get some help for her. We have to be able to reach her and find out what's exactly the deeper root, like you said. He said he knows, but I think because it's so new for us, and he's just 40, and I think we don't know what to do. It's like we tell her that she can always come to us and talk to us about any and everything, and we just don't know. We just don't know if we're doing the right thing, we're saying the right thing. And so forth. And I know she talked to her mom, but I'm not sure she go into depth and talk to her mom about it.
How would it be for you to increase the urgency with your son and or your ex-daughter-in-law by bringing it to their attention yet again? And I want to explain what you might share with them. Cutting is often not a suicidal gesture, but it can be, or it can lead in that direction. And it's a very scary question to ask a child. Have you ever had thoughts of wanting to die or wanting to take your life? But given her current level of pain, it's a very necessary question to ask with possibly a very frightening answer. But you and her parents need to know what the answer is to that question so you can determine the level of risk that's happening right now as she is cutting. And so how would it be for you to bring that to your son and ex-daughter-in-law's attention and increase that urgency?
Yes, I could talk to them, absolutely.
I think that's their next... I agree with that, Alice. I think that is your next step, Stephanie. You have to have people who are nearby. It's got to add to your anxiety because you are far away from her, but you have a connection with her. But if you can enlist the help of the people that are around her on a daily basis, and this isn't something, okay, we just talked about it. No, there has to be a plan and a process so that your granddaughter feels supported and has a pathway to just experiencing that support and having better ways to deal with the struggles that she's going through.
Stephanie, you might consider providing some financial help to fund therapy, because there may be many reasons why her parents seemingly haven't pursued that course, but you probably know about our network of counselors, and it's all over the country. And so we could connect her parents with a therapist in her area who has the skills to help strategize and lead them through this process. Because when we see one sign of significant pain, we need to assume that there may be other things or other unhealthy ways of coping that are taking place for this child to be able to make it day by day. So we have to take it so seriously as you are, but help her parents to take it seriously also.
Great idea. Good ideas, ladies. Becky, what book comes to your mind to help?
I was thinking of Jill's Secrets Young Women Keep.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Because it could help the parents, could help grandma, just to understand. To your point, Alice, your granddaughter, Stephanie, is carrying the weight of all the pressures. And sometimes that happens in families where you'll have one identified person who's feeling all of the feelings of whatever is going on. And if she doesn't have the skill set to, process those feelings, feel them, let them go, identify them, that's where a lot of the cutting will come in because it has to be expressed somewhere. And this could be, a way for the family to get healthy, all of them.
Hey, Stephanie, we'll send that book to you, Secrets Young Women Keep by Dr. Joe Hubbard. And thank you for calling us today. We're going to go talk to Sally next. Sally is in Dallas, Texas, watches us on YouTube. Sally, how can we help you?
Hello. Hi. I needed some guidance on my next steps. I've been married 23 years, and I believe that, I cannot trust my husband. And so...
Why not?
I looked at this because of just his past. You know, he's had an emotional affair at work, and he says it was nothing but. Anyway, so he's had that, and just a lot of other things that he's done. You know, taking his wedding ring off and putting it in his pocket. Things like that, and many more. But I don't give up. I'm giving up.
So what's your question for us?
Because, just real quick, I wanted to let you know that, you know, the things that he's done, I forgive him, and I already told him. But the thing that hurts me the most is that he doesn't see that he's done anything wrong. He except the one at work. All the other things he won't admit to. I mean, he denies everything, and he deflects, and he, puts it back on me when we have a talk about it, and it's never fault. And I just feel like, I mean, I've read so many books. I've tried to be the Proverbs 31 wife. I've done so much, and he has participated in some things, but not for long, like counseling. He doesn't want to go back to counseling. We only went 2 times. Things like that. I just feel like I keep trying, and I can't give no more. And
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that
well,
hurts.
Sally. Well, and what I want to know is, what was this final straw? Are you just exhausted from the many attempts and him not responding, or was there one more offense that just was, I'm done, I can't do this anymore?
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. He's pretty sneaky, and I just felt like maybe he and someone in our neighborhood has been talking, and that right there,
Okay.
blew it for me. I just felt like I can't do anything else,
Yeah.
And I hate to give up because I'm not that person, but.
And Sally,
I don't know what else to do. I mean,
when you have told him that you're considering divorce, how does he respond?
well, we've talked about it a couple of times, maybe just separating, but we haven't really talked about divorce. But I don't know if I can. I don't know if I want to separate. I feel like, what's that going to do? I mean, he may change. I don't know. I don't think he will, but. I just don't know where to go. And so my next steps, I don't know what to do, like as far as a lawyer or finances.
Well,
or
it could be all of those things, Sally. It could be that you go to the lawyer, you talk about, what the options are. A lot of times women feel stuck because of financial challenges or changes that will occur because of divorce or separation. I am thinking that you're going to have another conversation with him, whether it's about divorce or separation, but there's got to be a line. And sometimes people respond to the line. They say, you're right, I'm wrong, I need to straighten up. Now, I wish I could say 100% it happens, but it would be important for you to prepare in a way, whether it's your own personal counseling. Maybe you invite him to one more session and say, this is the make or break right here. I can't trust you. I need you to go to every man's battle. I need clarity in order for us to go forward. But, it's a tough place to be, and you're exhausted from having to manage this distrust for so long.
Maybe it's asking him to come to the marriage workshop with you, intimacy and marriage. And if he was not willing to do something, then maybe you make that step of, we need to separate and do something.
Yeah.
Sally, you have run out of energy and desire and motivation, and rightly so, after all of these years of what very clearly seems to be ongoing infidelity at some level and complete lack of willingness on his part to do much about it. And so if it's the case that he has been unfaithful, you certainly have biblical grounds to pursue a divorce. And you're not obligated to take these other steps of separation or inviting him to therapy yet again. That hasn't seemed to work before. But let's look for a moment at why you might pause the pursuit of the divorce, even though you have the right to do so. God hates divorce because of all of the pain and problems it causes us, and sometimes it seems like the only solution. But the reason God asks us to set up incremental, increasing, strengthening boundaries is because if there's any chance of salvaging a marriage, it is the better route than divorce because of all the pain and the cost that divorce causes. Divorce is never a great solution. Sometimes it's a necessary solution we have to take. But we propose these other steps first because of the possibility of your husband's conscience being pricked, because it would be better for the whole family, of course, if he would ever take responsibility for this. And after you've taken the steps that we are proposing, you can pursue a divorce with a clearer conscience if your husband still doesn't change. We're asking a lot of you, but it will save you from greater pain if you follow God's path.
Okay, well, we'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn from New Life Live, and Chris Williams and I are doing the Emotional Freedom Workshop. I don't know of anybody that wouldn't benefit from emotional freedom. We're all bound, or stuck, or struggling in some area. What are we going to do there, Chris?
Just really help people get clarity around the places where they're stuck in their life. They sort of circle the same mountain of disappointment over and over and over again. You're going to be able to see that mountain clearly and get to a new place of what we call emotional freedom, which is simply I can feel in the world, build a relationship to it, and know what to do with my experiences.
The New Life Emotional Freedom Online Workshop is Saturday, January 21st. Steve Arterburn, Chris Williams, and Dr. Jackie Mack-Harris will present information on trauma, depression, codependency, and more. And small group leaders will help you process the information you learn. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or register online at newlife.com.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
You can help New Life stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of the 1-Year Bible for Men or the 1-Year Bible for Women. These Bibles combine the best-selling daily Bible reading format with 2-minute daily devotionals written to create a one-of-a-kind devotional Bible that you'll love. There are also ongoing benefits like the monthly Club New Life CD or download, access to the Club New Life video library, quarterly resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, welcome back. Well, Sally, we want to send you Dr. Sherry Keffer's book, Intimate Deception. And
Perfect.
I hope that helps. There's a lot in that book, and I think with the weariness and the pain that you're feeling, that you'll feel understood and that you're not alone, and there are ways out of what you're dealing with.
And please consider joining us for Restore, February 24th in Orange County, because the sisterhood there and what we're able to do for you at that weekend will really revive your spirit.
You know, before going back to call, I just want to remind folks we are having an emotional freedom workshop. It's online via Zoom. It's 1 day. And if you register by January the 6th, you can save $120 on your registration. And the date of that workshop is, I can't find it, January 21st online. It's a Saturday. Real easy to do. Even non-technological people can do this. It's really an easy thing. No travel, no hotels. Just find a spot in your home, get your computer out, and you're in. So sign up today. Now, we want to go and we're going to talk to Gary. Gary is calling us from Pueblo, Colorado on KGFT. Hey, Gary, how are you doing? What can we do?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I have a relative. He's 58 years old, and he's suffering from anxiety, and he's gone through some heart surgery. He lives alone, and sometimes he's afraid to ask for help, so I'm kind of getting a little worried about him. And I guess my question would be, would you be able to guide me with some counselors or a network of medical doctors in the Denver area that could help with if he's suffering from a depression or chemical imbalance, and what would you recommend as a first step?
We have some great counselors in Denver, Gary, and all of those things that you describe are connected. It's very well known that our physical body reacts to anxiety. Anxiety impacts our physical body, and the isolation also multiplies all of that. And it could be everything from whether it's an emotional issue that he's dealing with, or it could be the medical intervention, because sometimes, blood pressure or heart medicine can have side effects. But I think you're being a very good relative by connecting him with help. And I don't know if you're close. Do you live by him, or are you quite a ways away?
He lives up in the Denver area, and I live in Pueblo, about 100 miles away.
Okay. So maybe, obviously, a weekly visit might be much to ask, but maybe, once every other week or something, just connecting. It's amazing how much isolation impacts us physically, emotionally, spiritually. And I think we minimize that a lot. And, but we'll connect you with a counselor in that area for sure. And then they will probably be able to help him with the next steps as far as, what other resources they might know in the area.
Gary,
Okay. That'd be great.
Do you know some of this, such as the anxiety, because your relative has told you about it and has opened up to you a little?
Yeah, I have conversation with him, and he's tried different things. In fact, right now he's got a heart monitor on, so if he has some type of anxiety or he gets lightheaded, he's not sleeping well. He doesn't seem to get his REM sleep. So he wakes up okay, and then after a few minutes, once he gets up, he's just foggy all day. He just can't quite function very good. And he's been working at home since, COVID. He hasn't really gone back to work. So, I was just kind of hoping that after his surgery he would have gotten better. But sleep deprivation seems to be one of the biggest things that I notice with him just in conversation.
And all that you're describing is such a vicious cycle, and one symptom exacerbates the other symptom, and so it can really spiral. And so your concern is well placed here, in your desire to help him. How receptive do you think he would be if you recommended therapy and linked him with us so we could connect him with a clinician?
I think he's ready to go there. I think he's at wit's end. He's been trying different things. His family physician retired, so he doesn't really have a trustworthy type of doctor now that can, refer him to things. And he's kind of looking for, honest doctor in the area there now to be his main physician. I think he would be receptive to something like this.
In addition to an individual therapist, our Emotional Freedom Workshop, which is coming up so soon, I think would also be a great fit for him. And our workshops link our attendees into community groups that they can continue to participate in after the weekend is over. And so it's like a built-in, accessible community that's right there. And even if they're spread out distance-wise, but with technology like we were talking about, it makes it so much easier to get connected and stay connected. And relationships are the main antidote to anxiety, particularly opening up and being honest about what he's going through. So I think both of those would be great solutions for him.
That's a great idea. That's January 21, and like we were just commenting earlier, if he signs up by January 6th, he gets $120 off.
Oh, okay.
But the connection that comes from that, and I'm always surprised because we get a lot of great comments from the men that come to this. A lot of our workshops are more, the women kind of drive getting there or getting somebody there. But guys come because they need it, they want help, and we get wonderful responses about first time in their life they ever felt connected, and they love it. So I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you so much for your time and your advice.
Okay, well, we'll send you Take Your Life Back for you, for your brother, and I hope that helps. But we'll come back right after this and take another call. Thanks.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again. You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, we are back, and we are going to take a call. But before we do, it's still 19. Listen to me. We were talking about New Year's. Oh, my goodness.
Send help in
yes,
for us.
Please do. It's still 2022. And you're still able to make a year-end gift, and if you're motivated by tax deductions, this is the time to make your gift. And if you want to mail it, please make sure that it's postmarked in this calendar year. If you write a check out, date it today, and mail that check on January 3rd, you are not going to be able to claim that as a legitimate tax deduction. But anyway, we can use your help. Year-end giving is always strong. We want it to be stronger than ever, so we can do more than ever as we enter into the new year, because we got a lot planned. It's our 35th anniversary year. 35 years next year that we'll be celebrating. We actually started the 35th year of November. But help us out. Make a gift. You can join Club New Life. You can make a one-time gift, however you want to give. God will bless it, and you'll feel better too. I always feel better when I make my giving. So now we have lines open. We're going to go take a call from Michelle, but there's also lines open. Give us a call, 800-229-3000, and Becky and Alice will give you the best solutions to your life's issues that you could ever imagine. No pressure, ladies. Okay, let's see. We're talking with Michelle, calling in Oklahoma, KWRD. Listen to the Dallas station. How are you doing? How can we help you, Michelle?
I'm doing pretty good. I have a question, but I'm going to kind of give you a short background. I have an adult son who's 24 years of age, who is a severe alcoholic, has been diagnosed bipolar. In that process, I've given till I'm give out. It's affected my physical health. It's really hard to know what role to play. Now, before we get into all the millions of resources available, he's non-compliant medically. He won't go to counseling. He has recently suffered a shattered leg. He's wheelchair-bound. He refuses physical therapy. So that's compounded the sitting and drinking and the mental issues and having lots of isolation. So basically what I want to know is how I prepare. This is the thing no one can answer for me. I know all about the counseling. I know about medications. I know about rehab. I know about EODing him. I know all that. He's unwilling, and I'm wore out. So how do I prepare for his death? How do I prepare for finding him in his home? And how do I deal with this grief I'm already experiencing? Because it's working on me. Because
Michelle, what kind of...
I'm not saying that I'm negative and that's what's going to happen, but he's not making any headway in any way. And I've prayed until I'm blue in the face. And if you say, will he go to counseling? No. Will he go to the doctor? No. Will he take medication?
We get it. We get it, Michelle, and we hear the frustration. I want to know, do you have any help for you? Because it is so hard to deal with non-compliant, someone who's, resistant to all your help. Are you getting the support that you need?
Well, my therapist is on vacation right now, but I have underlying health conditions, and this is just not to say I'm fragile in any sense of the word, but
no,
here
I get
recently, and I've had COVID. And it's kind of affected my heart a little bit. So what I'm getting at is I'm mental exhaustion and distraction is overwhelming enough, but it's really impacting my physical health at this point.
Right. Well, what I'm suggesting, Michelle, is something a little bit different. And I'm thinking in terms of a life recovery group or an Al-Anon group where you hear that you are, you're not alone. Preparing for his death may be a distraction from the work that you need to do for your own strength. A lot of times when we're in relationship with someone who is struggling with addiction of any kind, we forget about ourselves and we're focused on what they should be doing. And you just listed all the things that you've already tried to do, and he's unwilling. One of my questions was going to be, who is supplying him with his drug of choice, which is alcohol, if he's wheelchair bound. But I'm sure that there's lots of drive-in services. But my recommendation for you would be to get connected with a life recovery group or an Al-Anon group so that you can begin to heal. And in the same way, you would be preparing for what your question was about, is what am I going to do when he goes too far?
Michelle, as we hear also the anger in your voice, and it's a righteous anger against his unwillingness, against the addiction, against probably the people that have not shown up as you needed them to help intervene with your son. Think about with me, with whom are you most angry? And check on God, yourself, and other prominent people in your life. With whom are you most angry?
Well, I'm the kind of person that I feel like I failed him as a mother, that it's all my fault. And he has an absent father, and I feel guilty for picking someone that is unavailable. And then I'm angry with God when I have friends, their kids are going to law school. They're not, I shouldn't be jealous. I'm happy for people. And so he doesn't have a father figure. I feel so guilty for that. And I am tired. And I am angry with God because why can't you think I haven't prayed? And when just pray, Misty, it's going to be fine.
Right.
No, you don't get it. It's not like your son who went to a frat party and you're concerned this weekend that he had too much to drink. My son when he was in the hospital with his shattered leg, he immediately had withdrawal. They had to get him medication to keep him from having seizures. It's not just he has lesions up and down his body because his liver is malfunctioned.
Yeah. Michelle, it is just agonizing to see what your son is going through and that God isn't stopping it. And your son's father isn't active with you, fighting this with you. And I want you to notice something that happened. When I asked you about your anger, some of it turned to tears. And those tears are so necessary in order for you to grieve what is taking place and to grieve potentially his early death, because you're right, that might happen if he continues to make these choices. So, sister, I need you to keep being angry, expressing your anger with your therapist, and then allowing the tears to treat your anger. You might even consider writing a letter to your son, even if you've said all this to him before, expressing all of your regret, because of course you've been an imperfect mom despite your best attempts. And so you may need to apologize again for your part, and who knows what kind of a healing effect that may have on your son's heart and soul. It's worth another attempt. And then I want you to write another letter to God about how angry you are that he hasn't seemed to answer any of your prayers. And lastly, consider with your therapist how you might help allow more holy pain in your son's life. And what an awful thing for a mother to have to do. But your son hasn't yet hit bottom. And so if there are any ways that you're financially supporting your son, if there's any enabling that's still going on, removing that and allowing in more holy pain may be necessary for your son to hit his bottom. We have interventionists that we work with that help to strategize. Is there any way to add more pain, to allow more holy pain so that your son can get to that bottom? And so we can connect you with our interventionist if you'd be willing to consider that.
Absolutely. I really want to impress, Michelle, I just really want to impress on you the need for community for you right now. All of the things that Alice has suggested is very good. I don't want you to be alone, though, in the process. And so getting into a group will connect you with the Life Recovery Group. You need community. You're looking at other people thinking that, you're the only one. You're not the only one. And there is power in that community. And I hear your heart. My heart breaks for you. Mm-hmm. And this situation. And I think there's still hope, though. I know that there's still hope.
And a lot of that hope will be improved and helped when you find the group that Becky was talking about.
Mm-hmm. We'll get you connected to one. Yeah, we'll find you one.
You need some people around you to help your heart. And for whatever happens, and I'm not going to give up on your son, that God's not going to do a miracle.
That's right.
And they come in various ways. I always say God works by surprises and interruptions. And somewhere along the line, God will surprise you. He'll interrupt something, and something will happen. That's my prayer. And I know that you've prayed that 1,000,000 times. Mm-hmm. But let's make it 1,000,001, and then 1,000,002, and not let go of that. What can we send her? What comes to
understanding and loving a person with a chemical addiction? Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to send that book to you. And thank you so much for calling. We'd love it that you called us. We're going to be right back, and we'll take another call here to finish the show off. But we're so glad you're listening, and we'll be back right after this.
My husband was involved with pornography addiction. He was unfaithful. I called the wedding off. He stepped out on the marriage and ended up having a child.
The Restore Workshop is designed for a woman dealing with a man's sexual addiction issues.
My husband is a recovering sex addict. There were strip clubs, other ladies.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Workshop will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
Restore has empowered me and has given me the tools to work through my anger, work through my pain, work through my confusion, and help me realize that I am worthy.
Being here and being surrounded by people who get it has given me my power back.
The Restore Workshop is coming to Orange County, California, February 24th through the 26th. To register or to find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or online at newlife.com.
Thank you, Restore. You have changed my life forever.
Chris Williams on coaching.
Oftentimes I get asked, what is the difference between therapy and coaching? The biggest difference between the two is that a therapist is going to be looking for a diagnosable mental health condition, whereas a coach is going to look at a particular issue. and help a person work through that.
If you need a coach, call New Life today and ask about the New Life Coaching Network. Our coaches have been trained and screened with the same intensive process we use for our network counselors.
If you're looking at an issue in your life that you just kind of want to change, whether it be your weight or leadership or other areas of behavioral patterns, check out coaching. There can be some really, really helpful things for you.
Take control of your life and take action to achieve your goals. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 and talk to us about getting a New Life coach. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, we're back. And before we go on, I just want to remind folks that there is an Every Man's Battle workshop coming real quick. It's the first weekend in January. The January 6th in Washington, D.C. is when it starts. And guys, we need you to be there. And women, I know you want your guys that are struggling to be there. So start it off with a phone call, 800-NEW-LIFE, 800-639-5433. We've got other workshops coming, Intimacy and Marriage here in Orange County in February, Restore in February here in Orange County. It's a nice place to be in those winter months. So give us a call and let us help you. Okay. Let's go to Chris in Fort Worth, Texas. He listens on the Word,
Hello.
KWRD. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm blessed, thank you. I'm calling not for what you can do for me, but I want to share a praise report. About a year and a half ago, I shared my story on the radio, and not just because the way the Spirit moves, everybody was crying, even the people on the radio station after I called. But Steve gave me a scholarship to Every Man's Battle.
Okay.
And
you went?
I said, okay. Yes, I went, and I met you there. Anyway, after Every Man's Battle, I've kept on with the Band of Brothers and Sustained Victory. Yes. And just keep on in the battle. And the praise report is too, because God works in mysterious ways. So when I shared last time, I said I had a prison ministry. We sent out, my wife and I, 30 books to the prisons for Christmas. I cannot tell you the tears and the testimonies that are coming back from those guys that we sent the books to. And
that's fabulous. You're paying it forward. Thank you.
And then the last one is, my wife, last year I told her after the Every Man's Battle, and I'd already read the book about her trust, gaining her trust back. I read the book, and I said, maybe it'd be a good idea if you go to Restore. And she put it on the back burner, and for whatever reason, I know she because she has a New Life counselor out here, and the counselor told her, you need to go to Restore. And so she's going to Restore in February.
All right.
But how God works is that my two sisters who live in California, who will gain a lot from Restore, and I was hoping how one day I could tell them they're going.
Oh, a family affair. Wonderful.
So I just want to give thanks to God for New Life.
Amen.
And for what He's doing in my life.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Chris, you're allowing grace to multiply through you, and it is spreading to your family, to the inmates in prison. And it's because you're putting into practice what you're hearing. Too many times we hear about people who say, I've listened for 20 years, but I haven't done any of it yet. Chris, you are doing it. You're walking the walk, and it's producing fruit. Thank you for being that kind of man.
Chris, there's a passage.
But I'm not there yet.
No, we're all going to be struggling and not there yet. As long as we live, there's always going to be more. You just keep working at it. Hang in there with Sustained Victory. That's one of the best things, best decisions you could have made. And I want to share the scripture that talks about you. 1 Timothy 6:18 and 19. It says, "Tell them to use their money to do good. They should be rich in good works and generous to those in need, always being ready to share with others, By doing this, they'll be storing up their treasures as a good foundation for the future so that they may experience true life. And that's what you've done. That's what you're doing. And you're the caller of the day and the hero of the day, Chris.
Can we send him The Soul of a Hero, Larry?
Sure we can. That book will be coming to you. So
I have that. When I went, thank you very much. I had that because when I went to Every Man's Battle, I was not going to miss out on the resources they have there. And there's some that I don't want to touch right now. That intimacy, I don't want to touch it. And I told the guys this morning, I'm not ready. I'm not there yet to learn about intimacy because, like the counselor told me, my wife, she's got to work through her for a while, and I got to work on me for a while. So my New Year's resolution, or not New Year's resolution, my New Year's hope and prayer is that our intimacy in our marriage will be where God wants it to be.
Well, we're going to have an intimacy in marriage this year. I don't remember the date, in Dallas, Texas. And that might be the next step after your wife does restore, for you guys together to go to that and really understand what intimacy is, and that it's not just a sexual intimacy. Intimacy is so much more than that.
Well, and Larry, to that point, we say at Every Man's Battle, addiction is an intimacy disorder.
Yeah.
It keeps us from being fully known and fully seen, and that's the part, Chris, that you're learning about now. And I appreciate your humility in your journey, but also just your persistence, because it does take one day at a time, and others are being blessed by your ministry as well.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Chris. I don't know off the top of my head what we can send you, but we might surprise you and think of a book, and we'll send something to you to help you out. Okay?
Maybe the 1 Year Bible for Men. He probably doesn't have that because it didn't come out when he was there. So.
All right. Thanks, Becky. Okay, folks. Well, thank you for listening. We just got a couple more minutes, a couple more reminders. Every Man's Battle, January 6th, Washington, D.C. Emotional Freedom Online, January 21. And again, Every Man's Battle, that's the whole weekend, 6, 7, and 8. Emotional Freedom, though, is one day because it's online, January 21. Call now. You can save $120 on your registration. Intimacy in Marriage is right after Valentine's Day, February 17 to 19, right here in Orange County. And if you are suffering from the below zeros that have been sweeping the nation, it was 81 degrees at my home on Christmas Day. So think about Orange County for some nice weathers, along with the amazing workshop. Restore is February 24th to 26th in Orange County. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do a Lose It for Life online workshop in March the 18th. A lot going on here at New Life.
You know what, Larry, I always think about the folks that either have gone to a workshop or maybe they think, I don't need to go to a workshop. There are so many things that you can be doing to make a difference in your life. And as we look at a new year, we're talking about resolutions, or we're talking about, goal setting, all that kind of thing. Maybe just pick one thing, whether it's I'm going to, do a devotional every day, or I'm going to start reading scripture every day. Maybe I need to connect with somebody every day. We talk about connection all the time: connection, truth, and transformation. Those are the things that we've been talking about for 35 years. And the reason we talk about it is because we know that they are all elements of that life that God has planned for us. And he wants, just like what Chris was just saying, when he transforms us, we begin to work in the way that he has designed us to work, and we bless the world that we live in. And I just want to encourage you, if you're listening and maybe a workshop's not for you, we would love for you to be there, but do something. Make a difference so that your life is different and those around you, their lives are different as well.
Becky, you mentioned devotionals. We only have probably 246 devotions.
At least.
In our book
352.
Yeah, there you go. But, we have so many 100 days
mm-hmm.
From anger, from grief, from
fear and anxiety,
from
depression,
shame,
healing, all the things.
Whatever you might be struggling with, or maybe it's just 100 days of character. You want to get a stronger character. But consider a devotional. Start the year with that. Make it a habit. And folks, if you still haven't made your year-end giving, it's not too late. Make a gift to New Life. You can do it online. You could do it by calling 800-NEW-LIFE, or you can still put a check in the mail as long as it gets postmarked this year. thank you. Have a great new year, and we will see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.